Hey guys, and welcome to today's First Impressions video, the video game series in which we look at a soon-to-be released game and I give you my first thoughts and impressions on it. Today we're looking at Raptor Territory, which is a PvP main mode where you play as different types of dinosaurs and go into combat with each other. It's interesting, I like the concept, however it is woefully ill-prepared and the game isn't actually out yet, so there's nobody really playing, so I've got nothing to compare it with. However, there's a few things that have raised concerns and a few things I'm really not happy with. So as always, we'll look into the options, then we'll look at the store and the customization, and then we'll jump into the actual game and see what it looks like. So let's jump into it. Alright, your options then, and much different to the video that I did yesterday on Pronti, the menu looks underdeveloped and kind of ugly as a result. However, aesthetics aside, there are decent options here, just not as many as I'd like to see. You got resolution, texture quality, shadow quality, view distance, full screen on or off, motion blur, which is on by default, and then your FPS limit as well. It would be nice if there was a few more options here, especially because with the amount of things that you've got going on in the game, it does impact loading times quite a bit. Gameplay options, adjust your language, and then your input options, which look like they can indeed be customized, which is always good. But that's your lot for the options. There really isn't a lot here. However, if you feel like the options were a bit woeful in content, the customization options are genuinely just not good. You've got four different skins that you can have and no taunts, and there's a reason for the no taunts. Now, what's interesting is that you've got to use your keyboard in order to turn around, but the fact that you only get 4 colours, they're not really skins, and why is there not more available? Now, this game doesn't come out until the 30th of this month, so there is time for this to change. But please give your user base more than just 4 colours, especially since, and we're about to get into it, the fact that your store is rather fleshed out in comparison. Before I get into this, and before I get into this in a rant, I want to also point out that everything you do takes you to a loading screen, and the loading screen isn't the fastest in the world ever, so it could do with some optimization increases. But I've got a real problem with this. This is a game in early development. This is an early access title. As you've seen so far, there is not a lot there in the way of customization until you come to this. This is where you get your different skins from. All of them. Everything is paid for in this game. From skins and taunts. Now, what I will say, and the only thing that this has got going for it so far, is the fact that skins and taunts don't actually give you a better performance rating from what I can tell, right? It doesn't make you perform better in the game. But the fact that you are literally the same dinosaur raptor thing, and you don't get different characters or anything, means that depending on how many people you can have in a server, and I think it's like 50 people, you're going to be going against, because I can't see many people buying these, a lot of the same colour. It's going to be really, really confusing. So they need to add some more free options in my opinion. And the fact that you can pay anywhere up to like £5, £6 for a skin in a game that is this underdeveloped is a little bit of a... It begs that it's a cash grab, right? Give the users content and this sort of stuff is fine. However, that's not the case, and the pricing doesn't really seem to make much sense to me. Why is it that this skin is 75p and this one's a £5, and why are they not in order of cost? I don't understand. Like, genuinely, I don't understand. So the store is a bit of a red flag for me. I get it that developers have to make money and stuff, but the fact that you're putting this game on Steam already, and then you're going to be asking people to pay for skins when there's not much content, we're going to get into the serious lack of content in a minute, is a bit concerning. Give me more stuff for free and quality stuff for free, and I might be tempted to put stuff in the store, but it looks like you've spent more time on the store than the actual game. Speaking of the game, let's jump into that. And this is what single player gives you. As you can see, the loading times for the textures and everything takes a fair while. I mean, I loaded in, Alt-tabbed out, managed to click on the start record, Alt-tab back in, wait a few seconds to start speaking, and then start speaking, and in that time, everything still hadn't loaded in. I could understand if the textures and everything was pretty decent. Now, this is on single player because, understandably, the game's not technically been released yet, so there's nobody playing on the servers at all. However, I'm trying to understand what single player is here for, because you can't do anything. Like, literally, you don't do anything. Also, I don't know if you can see that, but there's some screen tear on the bottom of the screen as well, which isn't ideal. That probably could be doing with looking at. But yeah, single player, you don't do anything. You just run around. It's an empty area. And the fact that you don't get to choose a map or anything tells me that this is probably the only map with the game. If you're going to have a single player mode, give me some objectives. Make it a tutorial. Make it something. Anything to keep me entertained. Like, there's another raptor here. This is the only raptor I've seen. And you go in and you've got to try and kill it. But the AI is apparently really, really dumb and doesn't do anything. And there you go, I killed it. Look at me go. So, yeah, like, you just go around and you I guess, kill other raptors. You can run, you can jump. It takes stamina off you, I guess. You've got... I've genuinely got no idea. I'm assuming the points in the bottom right are what I'm doing. What I'm winning. And with how badly optimized this game is by the look of things, I can see it being a problem for, like, lower end PCs with all this stuff and foliage falling down and stuff. Like, that's going to be a problem. The hitboxes, there's no, like, targeting that I can see. There's no health bar. The AI is woefully stupid. So single player isn't really all that fun. The loading times are ridiculous. And I can't imagine what PvP would be like. I can't imagine this game being very fun. And again, when I say that it feels like they legit spent more time, and I mean legit more time on the store than what they did on the actual content, it's really not a good sign at all. Right, okay, cool. So the raptor follows you forever. Sweet. I'm assuming those eggs are the way that I regen my health, but I have no idea. Overall, the game doesn't come out until the 30th, and I'm a bit concerned about it. It needs a lot of work. It needs more maps. It needs different types of dinosaurs. It needs more customization of dinosaurs. Again, considering you can have a server full of like 30 or 40 or 50 people to give you one dinosaur and 4 free skins to choose from and no taunts, it's not good enough. It's not enough. This is a game that's going to survive solely on its player base, right? It's going to solely survive or die on how many people are playing this, because the single player isn't that great. I also want to know how I hit the main menu. Oh, there we go. So there is a cursor that comes up, but it disappears on the screen depending on where you turn, and then you've got to try and find your thingy again. Make it so that when the end of the match, it's a separate screen so that my cursor doesn't disappear. Overall, guys, not impressed with this. I would avoid it until it has come out of early access. It needs a lot of work with it. And again, it's going to survive or die on arrival based on the player base. And I don't see the player base being that hearty. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.